Hey guys, welcome to a new video. If you haven't seen my previous video yet, I gave you kind of my general broad opinion of the first two seasons of Stranger Things, since I never really talked about on my YouTube channel before. But in this video, since it's relatively recent, I am going to be reviewing Stranger Things Season 3 for you guys today. I'll probably get a little bit more in detail than I did in the last video, even though the last video was kind of a spoilerish video too. So unlike most of my movie reviews, this will be more spoiler heavy than usual for me. I try to avoid spoilers in my videos and things like that, but because Stranger Things is a Netflix show and all episodes are available for it right now for season 3, let's just make this a spoiler video. So if you have not seen season 3 of Stranger Things yet, you have been warned, but if you're interested in hearing my take on it, feel free to stick around if you really need to find out just kind of my overall opinion of the show and where season 3 stands and things like that. So let's kind of dive right into it. So in season 3, you guys, basically we get a little bit more of Mike and Eleven's relationship, kind of how where we left off in season 2 and how they're kind of growing as a couple this time around. Also, the Upside Down does return this time, but not quite as prominently as you thought. It seems like there's a Russian military group that has found out about the Upside Down, kind of wants to learn more about it, have access to it. So that plays more of a role this time around than it did in previous seasons. There's this giant creature that's kind of in the spirit of that big spider creature from season 2. But this time around, obviously, it's pretty much all the Upside Down explorers in this time around. And kind of the connection that Up the Upside Down has with this season and things like that. So there's that this time around. There's a mall that has a connection to the Upside Down and things like that. There's all this kind of stuff that is explored throughout season 3. So if you've already watched the season, you already know what I'm referencing. So let's kind of dive into my overall positives and negatives thoughts of season 3, why I actually personally thought it was a good season, and where it could have improved on as far as the writing and directing goes. So for my positives of this new season, you guys, I kind of like the summer setting. I know the first two seasons, I think the first one was like Christmas time, second season was Halloween, and this third season summertime. So I really like how we kind of get, swimming pools and shopping malls, and definitely a Fast Times at Ridgemont High kind of vibe, whether it's two people working in a mall that are friends, kind of like Phoebe Cates and the blonde hair girl, I can't think of the actress, Jennifer Jason Leigh, her character and Phoebe Cates' character being friends and working at the same restaurant in the mall, or being at the swimming pool and there's that really attractive lifeguard, or there's just so much Fast Times at Ridgemont High in this movie. There's even a character named Phoebe here and things like that. Phoebe Cates is referenced in another scene. So just tons of fun things, tons of like summer movies that these characters go explore, whether it's Day of the Dead or Back to the Future. They really had a lot of fun with the summer setting this time around. So I really like that choice for making that setting creatively come to life in this season 3 of Stranger Things. One character that I thought was kind of going to be like a throwaway character, but ended up being kind of a fun little character by the last episode, was the character of Suzy. The character of Dustin claims that he had this relationship for him over the summer camp, and that, she's really attractive, and she's more attractive than Phoebe Cates and stuff like that, and obviously nobody believes him. But towards the end of the show, or of the season anyway, we kind of get to learn about Suzy and kind of her fun chemistry with Dustin, things like that. So I thought it was kind of a fun little character that they threw in there. Really was kind of pleasantly surprised to kind of see her show up towards the end of the season. One subplot that I think people probably are going to be turned off by, just because it was kind of a one-note joke at the end of season 2, and they kind of play around with it a little bit more in season 3, is the whole hot Mrs. Wheeler thing subplot. There was a whole thing with, at the end of season 2, her and Mad Max's brother kind of had a thing for each other at one point. They kind of play around with it more now that she's hanging around at the pool during the summer. And obviously things happen that cause them not to have an affair with each other and things like that. I thought it was kind of a fun little subplot. I think the reason why I liked it as much as I did is because it was kind of a one-note joke in season 2. It was kind of fun to go back to it the way that they did for season 3, because like I said, I thought it was just going to be kind of this one episode, one joke kind of thing. They go back to it in season 3 in kind of a fun way, and obviously they develop the main villain in a fun way due to this subplot. It kind of made sense for that. So I personally kind of like the subplot. Yes, Cara Bano, who plays her, was also the biological mother of Bruce Banner in the first Hulk movie, for those who remember that, and she's aging very well. So there's kind of that fun aspect for me, too, in it, that she was just a very attractive actress and got to have this fun little subplot for her character and stuff like that. So really liked it a lot, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I also thought that Eleven's relationship life was explored in kind of a fun way here, because it was hinted at so much in season 2. Yes, it had to happen for season 3, and it was fun. It was explored in a very fun way, and I really like that they kind of explore that aspect of Eleven's life a little bit more. I also like the Star Court Mall setting. Like I said, it's just kind of fun to see all these restaurants and stores and everything you could ever want inside of a mall, like a movie theater and all that kind of stuff. Fun to see that setting come to play. Probably the most fun environment they had to work with for any Stranger Things season so far. So I really liked the whole ice cream sailor thing that Steve was working at, and that Ethan Hawke's real life daughter plays a role in this show, and she plays the coworker and stuff like that. So really like the whole Starcourt Mall setting. Really fun to watch. Um, you can definitely tell that they have a much bigger budget this time around for season 3. I also liked how Mrs. Byers, played by Winona Ryder, we kind of see her move on from Sean Astin's character's death from season 2. And I really like how she seems more educated, more motivated to help the sheriff and stuff like that. So you can really tell that it was really kind of bothering her, but she's moving on, finding ways to move on and stuff like that. So the way that they explored that, I thought, was very well handled. I also like how David Harbour got to kind of play more of a dad role this time, since that's kind of what the sheriff character is learning how to do and things like that. So really kind of fun to see him and Eleven kind of growing and him getting a chance to be a dad and stuff like that. So really liked that element in this new season as well. For my negatives of Stranger Things 3, though, I thought more could have been done with the Upside Down material, besides the big creature that the Mad Max's brother was connected to and gathered other hosts for and things like that, and kind of have the gross, gory things that turn into the monster and stuff like that. Besides that, there really wasn't a lot of upside down material this time. So like there's literally not an upside down that they go to or anything like that. So I thought that could have been explored a little bit more, because besides that big creature thing and the rats and all that kind of stuff, they don't really explore that aspect as much as season 1 and season 2 did. I also thought more could have been explored with Eleven's background. Yeah, they do a lot of that in season 2, but it would have been kind of more interesting to see if any other background details could have been explored about 11, just because she was in that laboratory for so long when she was a really little kid. And if there was any further details they could have given us, I think that would have been kind of cool to explore. And also, I know people didn't like the whole subplot with the sister in season 2. I personally thought it was kind of thrown in there and just kind of done after one episode in that season. But would have been kind of interesting to see where the sister was at, and where the friends that she was at, where they did the robberies with her and things like that. They don't really explore it at all in season 3. So I don't know. I thought they could have done more 11 things this time in season 3. One thing that was also kind of a turn off for me was the secret Russian base that Dustin and Steve and the Maya Hawke character go into. I thought that I didn't like how it was easy for kids to kind of figure their way around it. It was kind of secret base, secret from society, hard to get into, hard to escape. Yet these kids are able to kind of maneuver through this place pretty easily. So I thought that aspect of the secret base didn't really make it a secret anymore, and it was kind of hard for me to buy into that as a viewer, because these young kids were able to figure out how to get through it so easily. I also just didn't like the overall Russian backdrop. Yes, there's a lot of that in the 80s, and there was the whole thing with the Soviet Union back then, but and obviously with Rocky 4 coming out in 85 and things like that. But I don't know, I just really couldn't buy it. I just would have preferred another Hawkins take on the Upside Down, preferably, but they went with the Russian getting involved kind of thing, like the Russians getting involved with the Upside Down. And I don't know, it was just kind of hard to buy into it, really cheesy, just kind of a backdrop more than anything. So I really didn't care for the whole Russian side of the story as much. I also thought some of the Will Byers elements were just kind of repetitive this time around. And also, Will Byers really didn't kind of have anything to do with the Upside Down this time around. They just kind of moved on, found different hosts. Yes, he helped out. Yes, he was able to kind of tell his friends and the people of Hawkins what the Upside Down is like and things like that. But I just thought the stuff they did with his character this time around just felt a little repetitive and just kind of season 1 and 2 with him all over again. But overall, I'm going to give Stranger Things Season 3 a 9 out of 10. Really had a lot of fun with this season. Tons of things they got right. Some things that they probably could have done better, but a lot of things they got right. Tons of fun things they explored this time. And I really like that whole summer setting and the whole Starcourt Mall and things like that. So 9 out of 10 for me. Really enjoyed this new season of Stranger Things. Hope you guys enjoy it too. Hopefully you got to watch all of that before watching this video, because I normally don't do spoiler videos like this. 9 out of 10 for me, and hope you guys get a chance to enjoy Stranger Things Season 3 as well.